All right, well, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, March 26th, 2026, and we're glad you're here.
Glad you're here. Josh.
So I deviated off the normal quotes and I threw something up here from Tim Grover. If you guys haven't read any of his books, he was the personal coach to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Um, Basically, his books are all about like performing at your highest level. But I threw this one up there because I thought it's relevant to real estate. If you don't have to love it, you just have to believe it's worth it in the end. And I think all too often there's a lot of things in real estate that you're not going to love doing. Like nobody likes to make their calls, nobody likes to do prospecting. Well, very few people do. But most people believe that in the end it's going to be worth it. So, little motivation. I know I needed it this morning to get myself up and do those things that I might not love doing, but you have to do them to get the job done.
I love this quote. I didn't even read it when I was messing around with the slides, Josh, but it truly resonates with me this week, just even from a company level. In case you agents out there don't know, our staff work extremely hard and they don't get paid unless money is coming into the company. And they know that. And they still believe so much in this company that they want to build a solid foundation and make sure that the agents have all the success in the world. And basically, that's what really resonates with me is that my whole team understands this and operates in that capacity, whether it's the bullshit we don't want to do, but we know it has to get done, everything. So thank you guys. All right, core values. We don't really stick on this slide too often, but I'd like to open it up and give anybody a chance if they ever have an example that happened this week or anything like that that they want to talk about. I'm gonna do. Go ahead,
Well,
Debbie.
yeah, without getting into details, work-wise, with my clients, I have 3, 4, 5 transactions going on right now, and every one of them have had something broken. We've had to go back, and not one time have I ever thought, oh no, we have to give up. I don't give up. We're going to find a way to make it better. And because I have that attitude, it helps me talk to the clients and to figure out what's going on. Or if I have to go to bat for them and talk to the title company or the lender or the attorney. So that's just how I think. Yeah, I may have to have an hour or so to think, okay, what am I going to think and freak out on my own, but I can fix it. And it's the same way I feel about all of y'all. We're growing and there's so many things going on. And I feel like sometimes I'm like the company guinea pig because it's like there's new things happening. There's no way you can think of everything you need to have ready, and y'all always handle it. Sandy and Holly, both of you have just, when something comes up, you're like, okay, let's find a way to fix it. And you do it. Nobody's ever upset about any of it. And I trust
I
it.
wanna I wanna highlight something that I was so impressed with in Slack this week was Debbie, when you posted about a specific circumstance in one of your deals, and then Lindsay jumped in, Holly jumped in, Javier jumped in, Mickey jumped in, and though that issue I had never heard of, never. And to
Yeah.
see everybody jump in with their expertise made my heart swell with pride about our brokerage. Like, I am going to take those posts and, delete any, confidential information if there's any, and I'm going to make a carousel post on Instagram because the world needs to see this. Consumers need to understand that not all agents are at the same level, right? But our agents have access to a ton of knowledge and people collaborate together like that. And then the consumers need to know that agents are all at different levels and who you hire matters. And that's a great way to show it. And then agents need to know that if they don't have this kind of support, that it does exist somewhere and they deserve that kind of support. So it just really impacted me. I wanted to say, like, thank you guys all for jumping in because I just thought that was truly incredible.
it was, and I knew if I put something out there, I would get, that somebody's had this experience or they know something more than I do. So I will never be the one that says I know everything, because we don't. There's no way. New things happen every day that we learn. But and this proves you don't have to have a brick and mortar office to go talk to the other agents you work with or find out an answer for something. I feel like we are all in the same building, the same place. I mean, nobody would ever know that we're all states apart from each other. This brings back and because sometimes you're left out on your own at other places I've been. And what are you going to do if you need help with somebody? You can't just automatically get an answer right away or reach out to somebody right away. So, those that may miss working in the same building, same office, brick and mortar, this is even better. It's better because I'm getting input. I was getting input from agents everywhere, and that's what you need. So that's why you just need to vent, and it helps. And
I'm
that's
so
it.
glad you said that.
Yeah.
Clip, Brian. All right,
Debbie's daily.
Back to these
clip.
slides. All right, we're having this slide now because we've decided, hey, a lot of people are like, what is it exactly that you do? Or, so-and-so is messaging me in Slack, what is it that they do? So I wanted to kind of put pen to paper and show you guys, who would you go to for what purposes? And also we're doing kind of a shakeup here. Kyle Reese is our new interim director of operations. Kyle has just been absolutely amazing. Her brain is a force to be reckoned with. She is super organized, and I don't know how she manages to do all the TC things and understand everything at an operational level. She's a Marine, so girl after my own heart, but that shows that she knows how to properly lead, properly delegate, and keep us all in line pretty much. So congratulations, Kyle. We would not be where we're at without you at all. Lindsay is in charge of creating our special divisions, and she's just really taken the bull by the horns there as well. So if it's anything to do with special divisions, commercial, farm and ranch, luxury, business brokerage, Lindsay is who you go to. If it's anything regarding marketing or growth, anything like that, expansion, partnerships, Sandy Burnett is who you talk to. Holly is a broker and our fearless co-founder, but she's a broker in many states. Anything like, brokerage operations related, that's who you're going to go to Holly about. Brian is our concierge lead. Obviously he's onboarded plenty of you, but if you know Brian, that he basically knows everything about everything. And so if it's anything to do with tech support or systems, Brian's your guy. Lead gen expertise, we are very fortunate to have Josh, who is married to Kyle. And we are very fortunate to have Josh because he's got an amazing brain for lead gen, and he's helped with our brokerage meta ads, and we've had incredible success with them. And he actually can teach you, some of our agents have joined as a result of our ads. Javi just joined the call. He joined as a result of one of our meta ads. Mickey came in from an ad. So an ad isn't like, hey, sign up immediately. An ad starts a conversation. And we, meaning Josh, can teach you how to do the same thing in your business. So we're going to have a slide about this next week, but Josh does a lead gen Q&A twice a week at, I believe, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Is that right, Josh?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, cool. So we're going to get a slide on there because I know he's mentioned in the water cooler a couple of times, but I just want to make sure, that we blast it everywhere, because for him to actually donate his expertise, he gets paid to do this at other brokerages. Like, people pay him for this. I'm too poor to pay him right now, but I will eventually. But Josh is like, he his brain with the lead gen, it's just incredible. So we've got a ton of resources at our fingertips. Brennan is joining us. He's going to be our West Virginia DMB, but he's also a Teams and mortgage expert. And that's why he's going to start giving, mortgage updates. And then we've got Nate Thompson. Everybody knows Nate. He's going to just think of like him with money, being paid, anything like that. That is what Nate is here for, to help with. So, any
And
questions?
Mickey put in the chat, yep, that funnel swallowed me up! Exclamation point.
I love it. All right,
And
company
real
update.
quick, hey
Yeah.
Sandy, can I
Yes.
just say that for all of you guys that don't know this, those Facebook ads that we're running on the same exact tech stack that you all have access to as agents. We're not doing anything special. We're not paying any outside company to have a special funnel or anything. That's all done through Follow Up Boss, and Facebook ads. So we're not using anything special. So that system literally can be copy and pasted into your business. Now, yeah, we have to tweak a little bit because we're not going after agents and your businesses. But that's something, if you guys want to talk about running in your own business, I have no problem doing that. And we can set that up with everything that we're already providing you as a brokerage.
I'm so glad you said that. That is very true. All right. Josh, I didn't warn you, but I'd like you to talk about your house hunters slide again.
Oh, okay. So we have an opportunity as a brokerage. If you have a client that you're working with right now and you think that they would be a good fit for their story or whatever for the show House Hunters, let me know. I made a connection with the casting director of House Hunters. So basically, they're casting until the end of July, I think. But basically, the way that it works, as soon as you get a contract or a client under contract, if you think they're a good fit, we can try to get them in front of the casting director, and he will basically interview them. There's more specifics on basically how this works, but the biggest thing is they have to be under contract on a house, and they have to have some mobility in terms of or not mobility. They have to have some freedom on the day that they move. So ideally, what they need is they need to close and then not move for like 3 to 4 days, in order for this to work. And also think about, the people who have compelling stories, first time home buyers, those stories that will be like catch people's attention is really what they want.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. I love this. Like, I've never been at a brokerage where I've even come close to, an opportunity like this or known how to even remotely apply. So thanks for
No, it's
putting it in.
exciting. No.
Yeah. Welcome, Javi. I usually do a completely separate welcome graphic, but I wanted to put Javi's exact welcome graphic that he did for himself. I like his announcement. I've joined, I'm changing, because first of all, I want you guys to see like how different our marketing can be and how we can individualize it. But also, I think it's so cool that Javi, put why he decided to make the switch. And so I wanted to just put his post on here, and I just thought it was excellent. Everything that he did, he puts his reasons, he shows how it's going to be beneficial to his clients, and how excited he is to level up. But Javier, you're here, right? Do you want to open your mic and say anything?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I've been now, I think, a week, and made a lot of progress. And as far as direction, I think I made more progress now in this last week than I have in the last 5 years in terms of my actual real estate career. Super happy to be on board. I love playing with AI. I think it's fun, and I just keep exploring AI to continue to grow and pivot into the business. So glad to be part of.
We're so glad to have you, Javi. Something, just so you guys know, when Javi and I first started talking and how he ended up joining, I think this story is important. He had commented on one of our ads, and he was like, hey, I'd like to know more. I ended up calling him, and the very first conversation he and I had was, he's like, hey, I do acquisitions, and I operate in my real estate career differently, but a lot of brokerages have shut me down and would refuse to even have a conversation. I'm looking for a brokerage that will work with me and help me, run a fully compliant, solid business. And so I was like, you know what? I'm open to a conversation because this is what our brokerage is all about. I pulled Kyle Reese, Josh Reese, Holly, and Lindsay in on the meeting because they all have expertise. Kyle's just so you guys know, Kyle is the person that I go to for risk management. Like she really can see, a train wreck coming from a mile away. She actually keeps me in line. And so I had all of these minds in there. And if I forgot somebody that was in the meeting, I'm sorry, but like those were the key operators I wanted in the meeting. And so I've never set a meeting like that for any agent thinking about joining. It was that many of us. And Holly was in there, and she had already had experience with this type of thing. And so she was giving a ton of input. And then Javi was, giving us his background. And in Javi's background, all of us were extremely impressed. We're just like, holy shit, this dude knows what he's doing. And so it just seemed like a really good fit. So we are very happy to have you.
I'm glad to be on board and really excited for the future.
Awesome. All right. Speaking of anybody's future, tonight is another MyRECo Revealed. And Damien, he was actually one of my very first guests. This was like when we started changing the format. He was one of my very first guests. And now that he's been with us a little bit longer, Holly was like, you know what? I'd really love to interview you. And so it's going to be Holly interviewing Damien tonight. If I am looking for guests that want to come on and be interviewed, share their story, why they've partnered with My Real Estate Company or My Real Estate Company Too. And just like we can get into the good, bad, and the ugly. I'm not afraid of anything you guys want to say about our company, because that might stop the wrong agent from joining, right? Mm-hmm. So I want you to be authentically you, authentically anything you have to say about the company. That's why I like asking fun questions. Like, what would you do if you were CEO for a day? What would you do if you when have you ever disagreed with a decision we've made about something? So I love putting that in there in those rapid fire questions. I think they do great for just shedding light on our company. And we've got a training coming up this Friday. Tomorrow, is that tomorrow? Oh my goodness. Tomorrow, Brennan, if you're here, I want you to open your mic and talk about your upcoming training, because I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll apologize for being late real quick. I'm out hustling like crazy right now.
Nobody knew you were late.
Okay, good. I told myself. But no, we want to dig into the buyer conversation, because it's I guess it's not new now, but it's still new to some people. And the industry was flipped on its head in 2024. So we just want to dive in and have conversations about how to tackle and present to those buyers the right way, and go over those like compensation conversations, everything through the whole buyer process. And then I'll kind of show and we're going to actually have a role play the week after, kind of how we sit down and do it. So I'm really excited to do that. Yeah, just get into the whole buyer conversation.
I love that. Buyer agents are still, I don't know why, but they're still scared to death to have these conversations with their buyers. I think the more you guys attend trainings like these and listen to people and have the different angles that they talk and the different angles they get you to look at it, you have to truly believe in what you're presenting. You have to truly believe in your worth in order to sell it, So the more confidence you gain on a subject, the easier it is to have anybody help believe in you and to have their buy-in. So thanks for doing that, Brennan. Excited. Okay, and we've got our standard live training. So this past Monday in our Zillow workshop, we showed you how all the different things that we have are starting to tie in together, but we actually workshopped how to get your agent Zillow profile up and running. Josh came to me yesterday with a really good point. He's like, hey, now that we have our agent signed up, we basically opened the floodgate, for Zillow to be contacting them. Zillow might start contacting them, asking them to buy leads and this and that. So this next Monday is going to be about educating you. If any, and not just Zillow, but like if anybody is trying to hustle you into buying some leads, at least know what you're getting into. We can talk to you about how to leverage that, and who better to teach that workshop than our lead gen expert, Josh. So I love that he brought that up, and it's, time is of the essence. So we're throwing it in here this coming Monday. Tuesday, Brian found this story. It was a home that was sold, okay, completely closed, and neither a real buyer or a seller were on either side of the deal. So we're going to be uncovering that on True Crime and Real Estate. And then we have a special guest trainer on Wednesday, Donnie. Donnie, are you here right now? Do you want to talk about your training Wednesday?
Yes, hello. So I am currently doing pre-solar assessments nationwide for solar. So really 2020, kind of where I seen it was a pivotal time for real estate as well, where homeowners really started valuing pace and valuing just what can we bring as value as realtors. So now that we're shifting into a climate where solar is becoming more prevalent, honestly, one of the most expensive things you can do to a home, we're going to be able to kind of create that value, maybe even capture that value as solar increases across the nation, where we could be able to help them identify and also understand, how those price adjustments would look for if you're selling a home with solar and those kind of things. Maybe they're interested in solar. It's tough to get these loans as a add-on because a lot of homeowners want to shop at the max of their value. They don't really necessarily have that 60,000 to, so maybe they want to buy a home that has solar because they can't afford to add that as an adder to their loan. So being able to identify those kind of value points so we can be as valuable as agents as we can. So
Awesome.
That's what that class is about.
Thanks, Donnie. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay. No date has been set yet, but be on the lookout for a survey. Lindsay's going to be sending out a survey. It's going to, ask you, do you have any hard no's on your dates and just availability? What would you like to, what activities you want to, it's truly like our summer vacation and then a chance for us all to meet and hang out in person. We do know for sure that we are setting it in Texas. Where in Texas is a question mark. So just want to give you a heads up on that. Super excited. And now we're in the Kyle Reese updates era. Kyle?
Oh, I get a whole era, huh?
Yep.
That's exciting. All right. Let's roll. All right, we are creating a new Slack channel. If you need some love on your social media posts, let's leverage your fellow agents and staff at my real estate company to boost that engagement. So next slide, please. The channel name is group-social-media. We'll get you all added after this meeting. You can use this channel to ask for a social media audit, promote listings or events, request post or story engagement, and collaborate and listen with vanilla ice. I'm just kidding. Help MyRECo find and hop on social media trends. We know that you're scrolling social media, so if you see something you think our company should hop on, then please share it in this channel and we can make it happen.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
want to start doing those, like Kyle brought up like the baby picture trend and just different things like that. Let's show them how fun we can be. Thanks, Kyle.
Yep.
Brian.
Yep. So kind of checking the box for both IT and prep stuff. There's a company called Gridbase, and they offer a couple of things. So there are three kind of main products. You can see two of them on the screen here. The left two pictures are basically just a little like thumb drive. They've got two versions of this, an 8 gig and like 128 gig. And they have like a whole bunch of manuals on them, like first aid, medical, survival, like infrastructure, water purification stuff. The second one is like those other three pictures on here is like a tiny little, like not even cell phone sized thing that comes in a case. And that's basically a wireless version of that thumb drive that 10 people can connect to and look at all the documentation on that. And then if we go to the next slide here.
So real quick, is this about that still, or
Yeah,
is this about
yep.
this?
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Because like I was so excited when Brian was telling me
Yeah.
about this. I'm like, you have to put this on the company update.
Yep. So this one, and I'll try not to reference tough books, but this one is basically a laptop inside of like a hardened case, like a Pelican case. And it's again kind of like each one is basically an advancement on the first one, just a little thumb drive with a whole bunch of stuff, and then a little wireless one that 10 people can connect to. This one basically sets up an entire like Wi-Fi hotspot with like a 300-foot range that people can connect to. That's like a standalone like internet hub. And you can see on here, so that thumb drive is called the Sentinel, and that one's just survival manuals, some guides to like setting things up off grid, first aid, water purification, and that's, I think the prices on those are like 30 or 40 bucks for just the thumb drive. The Pocket one is Wi-Fi enabled version of the Sentinel that 10 people can connect to, and that one I think is like $200 to $300. This last one is like $1,200. So obviously it's more, but it's a full version like laptop that, you know, I won't say infinite people, but way more than 10 can connect to. It's like a Wi-Fi hotspot with like it says here, 1,500 most frequently asked questions for vehicle and plane maintenance, like small planes, water purification, medicine, natural healing, like plants and stuff, how to do midwifery, like so somebody can give birth outside of a hospital if you're in like an emergency situation. It's got all of Wikipedia, like every single Wikipedia page with all the links and references, just like an offline version of Wikipedia, and then medical publications from like army documents, like field manuals and things, wiki med versions. Like this one's like if you need to set up offline if the internet goes down, or you need to like set up a community of people who can survive after the apocalypse, this would be your best bet. And like this one's, like I said, like $1,300. So for what you get, it's not bad. But like if you're like, listen, I've got a laptop, worst case scenario, we can just, give this to just the little thumbstick itself is like 30 bucks. Unfortunately, right now they're all sold out because assuming like this place is pretty popular.
So I love that what he was talking about when he was describing it to me, like it says there, all of Wikipedia is on it. And just, I was thinking about it, like, what if, what if something happened, something massive happened, and I'm traveling now, like I've got whatever, on my back, right? And so I was really blown away by it, because it's not like I can take like a carton of encyclopedias with me, or, what would you do for your knowledge? What would you do for your entertainment, and all of that. So I just thought it was pretty cool. I wanted him to talk about it.
Well, and also like, and I'll throw the where do I have it? The pyramid in here. Like this isn't, just for crazy like zombie apocalypse. Like just like think Hurricane Katrina, what happened in Tennessee a couple of years ago. Like if your power is down for weeks, you need water and you can't get to a store to buy it. You can't, like, these things can help. Like I know, like I watched the stories of the people that went and helped like clean up those communities, and they're like, we had to drive in with our cars and then hike the last couple of miles. People get sprained ankles and broken limbs from just hiking like normally, much less through a scenario like that. If you can't get to a hospital in a couple of hours, you're going to need to do something like so that somebody doesn't just have a medical emergency right there on the spot. So I also briefly looked at like, you can buy EpiPens without a prescription. So yep, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the apocalypse, Mickey. Is your power's up for an hour, you don't know what to do. So, yeah, like the stuff you can get now is better than it's ever been before. And I thought this company offered some really great solutions. They also have a DIY kit on that, so like you can build your own version of theirs. They'll teach you, like if you go online, like buy the Raspberry Pi. If you're a little like soldering and welding, like you can put these together yourself. So like this company offers some pretty cool stuff that, like I said, for 30 bucks, just keep that thumb drive in your pocket.
And just so you guys know, if I ever do become a billionaire, the MyRECo compound may or may not actually become a thing where Brian will be in charge of it.
Sign me up.
All right. I know, right? National news. Holly?
All right, cool. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I'm embarrassed to say and admit I didn't even know this lawsuit was happening. The Burnett Sitzer lawsuit was really taking over all of our attention, right? That was the sellers class action lawsuit against NAR, EXP, Remax, like all the heavy big dogs. Today, I learned yesterday that Remax settled a buyer commission lawsuit for 8.5 million. And this just comes on the heels of Keller Williams actually settling for a higher amount. And what this lawsuit is also class action, and there's multiple ones going on. So Burnett Sitzer was the seller saying, I didn't know I was paying the buyer agent fees. This one is buyer saying, I didn't know that the house of my or the price of the home was inflated so that my buyer agent got paid. Like if I didn't have to pay that buyer's agent, my home price would have been lower. And so Remax settled. And so I wanted to definitely highlight it because I didn't know about it. So I would be very impressed if any of you did. And then two, it just goes to show how important it is and how we have to lean into the whole transparency, buyer agreements. So even if you are in a state that doesn't require buyer agreements, even if you're not in NAR, our company requires buyer agreements where they're hiring you, exclusive or not, frankly, but they're officially hiring you and you are taking the time to explain how compensation works. And this is just, it's such great timing because of Brennan's, buyer agent training series that we're doing. Because really our value is contract to close, and you shouldn't be embarrassed and you shouldn't stumble over your words. You should be able to explain your value, what you charge, and the different ways that you get paid. So that's all I have. Josh.
Also, I was reading on that, and one thing that one of the judges said that I thought was super interesting in their opinions is that had the agents or agents that were really started this whole thing, if the buyer's agents had had a CMA in their file, this probably would have been a non-issue. And I don't know if you guys know, but most of our state checklists, you have to have a CMA even on the buy side. That's why we're doing it. So I think that CMA, it not only saves your bacon when you're listing a home, but it is one of the most powerful things that you can put in there from a buy side as well.
And I've never been with a brokerage that has protected me, against this much risk and everything. Lindsay, go ahead.
What's insane to me is, from my experience, and mind you, like, I'll come guns a-blazing. I carried a $60 million portfolio in real estate. The one thing that helps me sell and make money and close deals is my math in my CMA and my CMA presentation. So I am blown away when agents come to me as a broker, and I'm not in this company, but I've worked for other companies and been a managing broker, and they cry about doing a CMA because, and mind you, most of the time they're crying to me because they did it after the fact, like, hey, we're closing, we have an agreement. And I said, you know what? You made an agreement not based on facts of the math. And I was like, that is such a dangerous situation to be in. The other thing is, like, how do you not know if you're leaving money on the table? You did not do your job as an agent to educate your client. And all these lawsuits that are coming out about buyer's remorse and, what was hidden in the math. So I am blown away when an agent does not do a CMA. And I think it's because an agent was never explained the power of a CMA and doing the math. And Josh is like the best real estate mather out there. He is like the math man. And you know what? We're trying to teach these classes to course correct the thought process of people, of agents thinking a CMA is a burden. It's not a burden. It is like, it is powerful to closing deals and making a deal happen, and also keeping a deal that's going to happen that's wrong. I can't tell you how many people have overpaid for a house or put themselves underwater. You know how we talk about being underwater, like with your vehicle, right? Now we have people that are underwater in their homes, and it really results from somebody didn't do the math, and it is our responsibility to do that math. And I'm so glad that we're an advocate for this and we're highlighting this, because once upon a time, agents joined brokerages and the brokerage just was like, it's no big deal. Just, get the client and find the house they love, and there was no why, there was no plan. And that's a dangerous situation.
Well, brokerages weren't teaching agents the importance of it. And they also, if an agent said, I don't want to do it, they would side with the agent on that. We're never going to be that kind of brokerage. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to teach you how to protect your clients and protect yourself and protect your business always. Brennan and then Javi. Brennan.
Yeah, I was just going to throw a quick 2 cents in there that we are going to actually cover that a little bit tomorrow, and make sure that we have those conversations up front, because from a financing standpoint, if you say to someone like, hey, yeah, we have these options, if the seller's not going to agree to pay like commissions here, we can get it into your financing, but here's what that would look like. And it's, do you want to, have $5,000 added extra into your closing costs, or you have the option to put it in your financing for probably $20 to $40 a month. So what's more important to you? And that's kind of how you phrase that conversation.
Javi.
Yeah, so my niche I work with a lot of investors, and the most important part of that piece is going to be the CMA, because we work backwards from what the value of the property is going to be after it's all fixed up and ready to flip. So, I mean, CMAs are one of the biggest. And I mean, once you get used to it, you can get them done in like 3 to 5 minutes. I mean, I used RPR a lot to run the CMAs, but investors highly depend on that after repair value when it comes to the CMA to work backwards and actually get their deal and make their money on it. So yeah, CMAs are great.
Amen. All right, Brennan, what you got on mortgage updates?
Cool. So yeah, rates are pretty much staying pretty steady right now. I don't see them changing in the near future. So I think just from a financing standpoint, having conversations with someone, if they hit you with I want to see if rates are going to drop a little bit, I think it's more so, how do we win the deal that's in front of us now? Because that's not really going to change. So that's the one thing I would say. Also, I'm sure that someone in here has lost a deal because they had VA loan clients. I've seen that a bunch, and I've even had people ask like, "Hey, how do we win this deal? We have someone on a VA loan, but the sellers want to go with somebody else." So, effective May 1st, this is huge. They are actually not going to be as strict VA loans. They're taking some of those stipulations and kind of there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it. But they're going to be less strict on things like paint, fireplaces. There's quite a few things. I don't have all of them.
As soon as you find out, as soon as you get like a list or anything, I want to know about it, because that's huge news.
Huge. Yep. So now, when we come to the table with someone like, hey, after first, we have VA buyers. Great news is they're not going to be as strict on your property. So it's going to be just probably like any other government loan, but we know that VA would sometimes go way above and beyond. So that's huge news for anyone that works with VA clients. That should be about all the mortgage updates that I have today.
Thanks so much, Brennan. Stay on that VA update one. Okay, April's movie is going to be Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So, all right, state and local news. Last week, I did a little bit of an update talking about what happened to our agents. For those of you that missed it, Holly's at the time, her primary association, Quad City Area Realtors, without any due process, without any warning, dropped her. And therefore, all of our Iowa members at all the other associations levels got shut off, because our broker's primary association kicked her out, and our other 2 agents that were members out. So naturally that pissed me off extremely bad. And I really try not to like do those rant and raves or anything crazy on social media. I sat on it I filmed a video about it. I sat on it for a few days, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to post this, and people need to know what happened, because the reason I did it is, if it can happen to us, it can happen to anybody. And they messed with my agent's livelihood. They messed with our agent's business, they mess with the consumers who they say that they're there to protect. And it just shouldn't happen. So I posted this video on a Sunday. I didn't even know if it would get any attention. Now, the interesting thing is when I posted it, Instagram was like, hey, just so you know, since it's a video longer than 3 minutes, we are not going to show it to anybody. We're not going to show it to any new people that don't already follow you. And I'm like, whatever. I couldn't trim it down anymore. It ended up being like one of my highest performing social media pieces in a long time. And so that means it's getting a lot of eyeballs, it's getting a lot of attention. And I wanted to give an update about our situation. Our staff, our team sprung into quick action. The listings that were affected were back up and running within hours of the incident. I'm very proud of them for that. But also Hometown Association of Realtors. So a different HAR for the New Texas folks, but Hometown, this is in Illinois, and it's a member of the MRED MLS. They had no problem taking on our broker and any agents who wanted to join them. And the president of the association and the CEO of the association even commented on my video. Other people in that association commented, friend requested me. They were like, welcome, you guys are welcome here. We're all about options and, anybody being welcomed. And I thought that was a really, powerful statement that they made as well. You don't have to there is a nice balance where you can stand up for what you feel is right without being messy and without being classless. For instance, my caption, I ran that past the Hometown Association of Realtors CEO before even posting. I wanted to make sure, hey, I want to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't want to get us in hot water, but I want to spread the word, So that's just a little bit about that. We got back up and running. I don't know, Holly, if you wanted to add anything. Or if any of the agents that were affected wanted to say anything, but this is your moment.
I was just thankful that we had, our national MLS partnership to lean into, because that's how we quickly got the listings back up and on those sites like Zillow, Realtor.com. And it's funny because of that freshening up, we got a lot more traction and activity on those listings. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And then I know, and even in your comment, that's what I was reading your update, you did speak with one representative of Quad Cities that called you. But it's fascinating to see where this is going and to see if and how other brokerages are operating similarly, but being treated differently. So, we're still researching, documenting, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say, initially I thought this was going to be a huge problem for me and for my business, but I just couldn't believe how quickly everything was resolved, how quickly my listings were back up, and then how quickly we found a new home. I just thought that was amazing.
Thanks, Damien. All right, social media post of the week. Debbie. Okay, I want to talk about Debbie for a couple minutes because number one, I really liked her Easter graphic and everything that involves. Like, how cute of an idea is that? Like photos with the Easter bunny, come tour these homes. I just thought that was incredible. Plus the graphic was really cute. Like pink's her thing, so it really fits with her theme. And then I saw a story she posted last night, just like her authentically her inside her house hanging out with the pets, but it's relatable, you know what I mean? And so not everything has to be like, are you looking to buy or sell? Like, people are allergic to that shit. They don't want to see it. They're not going to follow you. And so I just thought that this was, Debbie, and then, okay, Debbie and I have joked about this for a long time. When she was coming to meetings, I'm like, Debbie does Dallas. I had to keep saying it. And I'm like, she's going to slap me when she meets me in person eventually. And she's like, no. And she leaned into it. Like, how catchy is that? Debbie does Dallas real estate. So she changed her, handle everywhere. And I couldn't be more proud because what a fun personality Debbie has. Debbie, did you want to say anything?
Well, yeah, for years I thought about using Debbie Does Dallas in some aspect, but I guess I was too chicken to do it. It's like I'm not brave enough. But the minute you brought it out, I've noticed a lot of feedback and people are loving it. But the other thing is this on a couple of things. This hop to home tour, this open house tour, it's just around here, everybody we have a group, and everybody else said, I need somebody to host an open house. Can somebody help me? And the agent that has these three houses listed reached out to one of our title reps, said, I need somebody to do this. So it's perfect. So the graphics were created by them, but we started brainstorming. But these are not agents that I see every day. I don't even know, I only know one of them. So it worked out really well like that. So that's the thing, is just, and that goes along with my interaction with, and what I always say, my relationship with other realtors is very, very important to me, and it always has been. I've always been the one that will go to a big meeting or a big function, and people go, why are you going to that? There's only realtors there. Why are you going to that? I'm like, if you don't have a relationship in this industry, you're going to be in trouble. You're not going to go anywhere. You need each other. Who's going to want to go show your property, whether you're supposed to or not? So it's a big deal. But I love the fact that we can really be ourselves, and that and that y'all kind of watch out for us. If there's something we posted that didn't post correctly, you'll grab it and tell us about it. But I do that. I just post about myself. I don't know any other way to be authentic by myself. And I have a lot of people say they like my energy. And sometimes I hear myself and I think, oh my God, you need to stop. You just stop, just stop. But that's me. Just go with
Never
it.
stop,
Post about yourself.
Debbie.
Yeah.
You are true blue. You're one
Yeah.
of a kind.
And
that
that's how
actually
we
leads
all are.
into
Everybody
yes,
here is.
that leads into the tip of the week though. Be authentic. You are the only one of you. Okay. People are over this, fucking influencer, Instagram perfection. They don't want to see that garbage. Like nobody's into it anymore. They want to see authenticity. And who are you? Like some people try to like be authentic by like copying somebody else. It's okay to use social media to like trends and get ideas and everything, but be yourself. If you try to get out there and like do a dance and it is not you, like you're gonna look stupid, right? You have to, unless being, a slapstick comedy is your thing, right? And it's okay to try new things in order to find your identity on social media. So I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is don't pretend to love cooking if you hate it. Like embrace hating cooking and make that part of your personality if you want. Like, who are you as a person? People do want to get to know you. They want to hear about your passions. Just lean into who you are, because that was a perfect example of what Debbie was talking about. Don't fight who you are. There's only one of you. Kyle.
I just want to say that I suck at social media, but I heard somebody say a long time ago that everything is content. Like, if you're struggling with what to post, just post. And a while ago, I was doing that. I actually enjoy cooking, so I'm glad you said that as the trigger. I posted a soup recipe on TikTok like a year and a half ago. It has 52,000 views on it. Like, how stupid is that, right? Like, my face isn't in it. It's just a voiceover of soup. So you never know what's going to get somebody's attention or like get picked up. So just post.
Exactly.
Oh,
And it doesn't always have to be about real estate. Go ahead, Holly.
yeah, say my two most viral videos were a bad haircut and me wearing my CPAP. So there's that.
My business partner, everyone. And that's why I love her.
I love it. Yep.
Can I tell you guys something really fast?
Yeah.
So I actually have between my wife and I, we have a video on TikTok that I think we got like to 6 million views.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was walking down steps carrying my baby, and I have anyone seen Pitch Perfect, right? The movie? No?
Some of them. I mean,
Okay. So I was belting. I was singing Tina Turner walking down the steps. What's love got to do with it? And I slipped on the ice and fell down the steps with my baby in his car seat. he was strapped in really well. But we actually have it at America's Funniest Home Videos right now too, and I think it will probably end up on there. I think we might even win.
Oh my
I'll have to I'll have to send you guys the
Yay!
video. I'll put it
have
in the
to
chat.
send it.
But we got like 6 million views. Yep,
Wow.
a lot.
The fact that you were singing that and then
Oh my
fast.
gosh, loud too. I was like, "What's love got
You're
to
gonna
do?"
win.
Like,
You're
yep,
gonna win. You're gonna win.
I hope
I
so.
cannot wait.
Wow. That's great.
I love this. Oh, okay. So just so you guys know, agents, I am not texting you right now. I'm not going to be asking you to buy me gift cards. Mickey just posted in the comments that there's a Sandy texting her right now, pretending to be me. So
Wow.
and just so you guys know, that's one reason that we really lean into Slack. It's a super secure platform. You have to have a myrealestateco.com email address to even access it as a member. So if you're ever wondering, is this a scam? Is something wrong here? Whether it's an email, whether it's a text or anything from anybody claiming to be us, Slack us. Slack it. And I feel like that's because people can even pretend on the phone, through AI, hey, this is Sandy, blah, 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 right? And so don't just fall for that. I would say Slack is the way to check if you ever are wondering about that. But Mickey, please, if you have a few minutes, just mess with them for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the brokers are going to tell you to ignore it and don't do anything, but I like to have a little fun. So
Yeah.
Sandy, what's that Slack handle for our phishing and spam?
It's like if you type scams or scam or anything like that, it'll pop up. And I think phishing's in there as well. Like we keep adding little words to the channel so that if somebody thinks of a buzzword and types it, that channel will pop up. That's what's cool about the searchability with Slack. Scam, phishing, whatever. Scam, fraud, phishing. That's the name of the channel. Brian put alerts. So, all right, guys. Well, this concludes our company meeting. Really proud of us for keeping it under an hour. Holly, close us out.
All right. When in doubt, reach out, message us if you need us. We are here for you. We all started this morning with a blank slate at 0. So go out and talk to a buyer, a seller, or an agent today. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Got to jump. See ya.
Bye.